If you've been streaming for any amount of time, you've definitely heard this before. You have to make content on other platforms in order to succeed. If you're only streaming and that's the only place you're making content, you are not going to find success that way. Let's talk about that. Hey everybody, I'm British Brat, and I was able to go from getting 500 followers in over 2 years of streaming on Twitch to getting over 200 followers in less than 3 months. How was I able to do it? By making content on other platforms and bringing that audience over to Twitch. So why is doing this so much more successful than just streaming? Before we get into this, definitely make sure to subscribe so you can see more content like this. And if you're interested in asking some questions or you have more thoughts about this video, definitely go ahead and check out the stream so you can come by and ask those questions. First, let's take a look at Twitch and see what the major problem is with growing as this being your only platform. When you go to the homepage, there are plenty of new creators to look at and plenty of new people to discover. So why don't people find new creators this way? Well, the reality is when people go to Twitch, they just go straight to the left and look at people who they already follow to see who's live. Now, there is a recommended section here, but it's pretty small and out of the way, and you have to click show more in order to even see most of them. Next, let's take a look at the search function on Twitch, or what I should really say is the lack thereof of a search function. Really, the only usable trait for this is by searching for specific streamers or for a specific category. Unfortunately, nobody is searching by tags, nobody is searching by title, and in reality, Twitch really doesn't have the functionality to find people by searching that way. Even if we do search something specific like I am here, the only people that pop up are partnered streamers, so it's really not a great way to find new people. So many streamers, especially new ones, like to identify as only a streamer. And what that means is that the only thing that they want to do is stream, and they don't want to be putting content elsewhere because they identify as being a streamer first and foremost. The issue with this is that your stream is more of the end goal, and we need to start talking about how to get people to your stream instead of just thinking of it as the only place that you're creating content. It's the place where your most loyal, engaging, and interested viewers are going to gather, but you have to do the legwork in order to attract that audience over to your stream. So let's talk about some different platforms that you can use to help increase your audience and convert viewers over to your stream, and let's talk about their pros and their cons. First, let's take a look at the most important social media platform for content creators out of all of them. That's right, you guessed it, that platform is Twitter. That may come as a surprise to you, but Twitter is by far the most important social media platform that you can be on as a content creator. The reality is that everybody who creates content on any platform is pretty much gonna have a Twitter, and it's the best place to mingle and interact with each other, as well as find new people to be interested in your content. Twitter allows for you to be personal and engaging, and it also allows you to be relevant in the topics that might affect the content you're making. It's a rapid platform, but that's good because it means if you're on it all the time and you're constantly engaging with people, you're probably going to be the first to hear about something, you're going to be the first on something, and you're going to be able to engage with people the most actively. The issue with this app is that sometimes it can get drowned out with a lot of drama or in current events. This can sometimes mean that your content might get drowned out, or it might lose its relevancy in whatever is going on. But overall, this doesn't even compare to the relevancy and the engagement that you're gonna find on Twitter, so it's definitely worth it to take the time to go over here. Oh, and by the way, if you're interested in working with a brand, or with a developer, or with a professional of some sort, Twitter is definitely the app that you should be on. Definitely consider checking out the application TweetDeck. It's probably the most powerful one there is for increasing your workflow on Twitter, and it's an absolute godsend to content creators. I had no idea it existed until a couple months ago, and it's completely changed my life on Twitter. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at TikTok. Right now in 2020, TikTok is absolutely exploding in popularity and in growth. It doesn't offer much in the way of engagement, but what it does offer is the ability to create short, bingeable videos that viewers are gonna scroll through and watch over and over and over again. The market has barely been tapped for this platform, so if you have something specific or niche that you think you can create here, this is definitely one of the places to be putting that content out. One of the downsides to this app though is that it is a newer app, which means that there hasn't been too much research done on its effectiveness or return on investment for how much time you put time into it and how many of those viewers you find over there they're going to convert over to your stream. I've talked to a lot of creators and it's been pretty hit or miss for that conversion rate, so it is a bit of a risk. Still, if you want to be relevant and you enjoy being at the forefront of new things, TikTok is definitely the place to be. If you can find a niche that works for you and create content on the application consistently, you have a good chance of getting an audience that is massive really quick. If you're looking for more detailed information on how to grow an audience on TikTok and move that audience over to Twitch, definitely check out my video on this in the info card above. Another popular application that a lot of content creators use is Instagram. This is one of the platforms that again can be pretty hit or miss for creators. Many streamers probably won't find too much success in growing an audience and converting them over to Twitch here, but if you have a visually appealing platform or niche, i.e. cosplay, photography, something along those lines, you're probably going to find a lot more success on Instagram than other content creators. I definitely recommend taking the time to learn all of the bits and pieces of Instagram. Make sure you're using more than just the posting feature and you're posting to your stories, you're posting to IGTV, and you're using all of the application to best increase your return on investment on that app. Alright, finally, let's talk about the other big dog, the other main social media that content creators use, and that is YouTube. This is the place that pretty much everybody is telling streamers they have to be making content, and there's really good reason for that. YouTube is the second largest search engine after Google, and Google owns YouTube, so they pretty much dominate the market. It is built on the idea that you can find new videos, new creators, and search for whatever it is that you want specifically. Everybody's on YouTube, and the videos that you create here are probably the best at converting viewers over to Twitch because the content you put on YouTube is most likely the most similar to what you're creating on Twitch already. So that conversion rate is going to be a lot easier because your audience already knows what to expect. That being said, there are some downsides to YouTube, the biggest being that it is a saturated platform and it can be really hard to stand out compared to everybody else that's constantly making content here. The other thing that a lot of streamers specifically struggle with is that the workflow is much different to making a stream. You have to do a lot more work to get a video out versus streaming where you just hit go live and that's all you really have to do. On YouTube, you have to script, film, edit, research the good tags, make sure you have a good title, create a good thumbnail, and all of those aspects have to be good in order for a video to succeed. It's a hard platform to master, but it's worth the time and effort, as if you can get an audience here, you can really find that it will explode your conversion rate from other platforms over to Twitch. Now, these aren't all the platforms that you can be making content on. There's Facebook, blogging, Pinterest, I mean, you name it, there are so many different places and avenues that you can be creating content on. It's really up to you to understand where your audience is going to be at and do the work on those specific applications in order to convert those people over to your Twitch. Now, this being said, definitely don't try to create content on all of these platforms at once. All that's going to do is lead to burnout. You definitely want to be going for the quality over quantity approach, so I recommend just trying one or maybe two of these platforms and seeing how they work for you, seeing how the workflow is, and seeing how successful you are in converting viewers over from that platform to your stream. If it works for you, put the time and effort into learning it, and once you get that workflow down, then you can start moving on to other platforms, as it'll be easier for you to grow that way. We all want to succeed in growing our audience on Twitch. We just have to do the work to make sure that we find that audience and bring them over to the platform.